Are we done fighting over there? No? Hey, this is Rama from Creations Landscape Designs and the Earthly Landscapes blog. I make videos about drought-tolerant landscapes, sustainability, California native plants, anything and everything in between. So if you'd like to get more of that content in your feed, then hit the red subscribe button. I'm also a residential landscape designer, so I'll have a link to my business website in the description of the video if you need a landscape design service. So in this video, I wanted to talk to you about the concept of drought-tolerant landscapes and why I think, regardless of whether you're DIYing your landscape or you've hired a professional team, that you should strongly consider a drought-tolerant landscape. And what I mean by drought-tolerant isn't strictly using California native plants or strictly using certain types of materials. What I mean is strategically, first of all, planning your garden and not necessarily using cheap materials, using semblance of good quality materials and taking into account your space and what will realistically work for your garden. And that also includes the plant material. You can use strictly California native plants if that's what you like, but I find in most cases, most of my clients have certain plants that are non-native that they love. Lavender happens to be one of them. You can mix in other types of plants, but at least you should mix in plants in which it grows in the area that you're planting. It gets enough sun if it needs more sun in that area. It'll get enough shade. It doesn't need a shitload of water because let's face it, we're still in a drought. Yes, you probably heard, no, the drought's over. No, it's not. We're still consistently going to be in a drought as long as people keep wasting money. And then, of course, there's the subject of lawns. Do you need lawns? Do you need to have a certain lawn space in your garden? And my theory with lawns is lawns can be drought tolerant depending on the type you use. And the theory is, if you've got kids or dogs and you know they're going to actively play, okay, sure, have a little area for them. And if they're not and nobody's going to use it, then why have it? And then, in regards to the hard surface materials and various other materials, consider the space. Like, for example, with irrigation. If it's a really big planter and it's a really big garden, I highly recommend overhead watering. Why? Because overhead watering mimics natural rainfall. But if you got little tiny planting areas where overhead watering just wouldn't work, then you can go drip. So you have to consider the space that you're planting in, the space that you're designing, even if you're having it designed. And you have to consider what will realistically work for the space, but also consider the environment. What will work best for the environment? And also considerations to the wallet, because that will determine what you can and cannot afford.